Doctor, let me start with you. What do you think the science requires for the reopening of schools?
So there are several factors that are at play. The most important factor is the community transmission rate. Currently, the CDC and WHO are saying 5% positivity rate. Anything above that, it's not safe to open. And so looking at that number, there only are a smaller number of areas throughout the country that are prepared to open. New York City with a positivity rate of less than 1%. And then after looking at community transmission rate, you have to think about the resources that schools have: ventilation, masks, being able to separate and cohort students into smaller groups, having space, as well as school nurses. So all of those factors are incredibly important for parents to consider when deciding to send their kids to school.
Linda Darling-Hammond, what did you advise Joe Biden needed to be done for the reopening of schools?
Well, there's a couple of things that we need. Certainly, we need all of the things that the doctor just listed in schools in order to make them safe, and there are costs associated with those things. Thus far, the Recovery Act that has been passed has spent less than 1% of all that money on supporting schools to get the resources that they need to be able to open. In addition to the things that were just mentioned, there's the need for additional cleaning and disinfecting, and there's the need for adequate testing and tracing so that if there are cases, they can be immediately dealt with and quarantined. So we need the funding that's been held up in the Congress to get to schools so that those things are available. We also need clearer guidance from the CDC about the level of infection at which a community can safely open schools and the ways in which they should treat cases for quarantining and closing down when there are cases that occur in schools. All of those things are being taken up by the states, but right now the states have had quite a big hit in terms of the economy. And so they are operating quite often in deficit and need the federal support in order to be able to do the job that needs to be done.